Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I don't know what time it is with you watching this, but I know right now it is about 7:30 in the evening Eastern time for me. This is Sean Thompson, the owner and senior recruiter at Care Dynamics. And I'm coming to you tonight with a little bit of an impromptu meeting because I want to share with you something that I utilized today and have been utilizing with much success. And today I was just so tickled with the success of this particular business method that I had to share it with my people. So I hope that this training finds you well. And I hope that it's something that you can definitely implement. So what are we talking about tonight? I am sharing with you my employment verification method for landing clients. This is unconventional and it's quite a bit creative. So if you'll just give me a few minutes of your time, I will share with you how I landed a client today utilizing this method and how I've used this method in the past to land clients rather impromptu, if you will. There's a saying by Richard Branson that business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. So this saying conveys the idea that opportunities in business are abundant and they're constantly available to all of us. There's always another opportunity coming, even if we miss one. But also, you can guarantee that your opportunities are going to continue to come when you create them. So this method that I'm about to show you today is a way to create a business opportunity where in some instances there might not otherwise be one. So again, buses, when it comes to these buses, honey, they arrive at regular intervals, and so do business opportunities. So do not dwell so much on the lost opportunities. Be open to the new opportunities, but also be creative and unconventional when it comes to creating and seizing opportunities. So let's get started. Let me show you something that I was able to do for Care Dynamics today. This is a basic script for turning a standard reference check into a business opportunity. So as you know, with the staffing and recruiting business, we are essentially getting job orders and making candidate placements with our clients to fulfill some sort of job need. And in doing so, we are vetting these candidates. So we're doing applications, we are interviewing them, we are doing background checks, we're finding out more about them. And we're also, in many instances, checking their references. We're checking specifically their work references. All right. Oftentimes when you've applied for jobs, you probably see opportunities that say, hey, can you give me 3 references and make sure at least 2 of them are in your managerial positions. So they want to hear from your previous supervisors, from the previous owners of the companies, from people who were in supervisory roles to you. They want to hear sometimes from the decision makers in the previous business that you worked for. Pretty standard. Sounds boring, right? It's just the standard. There's nothing that stands out about that. Well, that is until you think about the fact that if these people have done the hiring and the firing when it comes to this candidate, they might be the right person to speak to in order to gain a new client. So follow me. The first thing that you're going to do, once you receive a resume, you have talked to this person, maybe interviewed them, and you're ready to move them forward in your hiring process. You're going to check your references. So I'll give you a real world example. I had a young lady who works for a pharmacy benefits manager that I've actually worked for in the past. She is now looking for new opportunities. So I found her a new opportunity at another PBM, but I'm interested in obtaining this other PBM that she previously worked for as a client. Like I really, really wanted them. I want them as a client. So It went something as simple. She provided me her references. Usually they do that with your submission of the resumes, or it may say something on the resume like references available upon request. So you want to request at least 3 of those references. Here's why. So I'm going to call her previous employer and I'm going to say, hey, this is Sean from Care Dynamics. I'm calling to speak with someone to verify new employment. They're going to find out more information, figure out where to transfer you to. You're going to go over to another person. Hopefully you're going to get to the right person that you need to speak to, which is the former supervisor, former manager, or whatever for the department or position that this person previously worked in. So ring, 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 I get that person on the phone. Hey, this is Sean from Care Dynamics. We're in the last stages of securing new employment for Jane Doe, and I just want to conduct a short reference check. Do you have 5 minutes or so to do this with me? The person most likely, they're gonna say yeah, because you're not selling anything to them. This is a reference check. So let me slow down and go back. You're simply calling and finding out this reference that was given to you. You're going to talk to that person. Hopefully they gave you a direct phone number for that person, but sometimes they give you the number, the candidate might give you the number to HR or to a work line or something. In that instance, it may take a little bit more work to get to the person that you want to talk to. But once you're able to get that person on the phone, you're going to say, hey, this is Sean from Care Dynamics. I'm in the last stages of securing new employment for a previous employee or previous whatever of yours. And they gave me your information as a reference. And I wanted to just conduct a real quick short reference check. Do you have 5 minutes to do that? Or do you have some time to do that? Most likely they're going to say yes, because there's nothing alarming about performing a reference check. They don't know they're about to be sold to. So you start, and once they say yes, hopefully you have your laptop out. Me, sometimes I just have a notebook or a piece of white plain paper and my Sharpies, and I just start writing. So you're going to take down the date. You're going to take down who you are. The completed by is you. And this is important for if you have people working for you in your agency, which you probably do. You want to keep track of who's performing these reference checks. So in this case, the completed by would be me. You're going to take down the candidate name. The referee name is the person that they gave you, okay? If the person that they gave you is the same as the person that you're speaking to, that's the referee name. However, if they give you a name of a person, you call and you're given to another person because maybe the former manager doesn't work there anymore or whatever. They give you another person, and that whoever is conducting the reference check with you, that's whose name you're going to put down. You're going to put down, of course, the name of the company and the phone number that you're utilizing. So if they transferred you to another line or they gave you another phone number to call, you're going to make note of that just in case the number is different from the number that the candidate gave you. Also, you're going to make note of the company name because I can tell you, I don't work here anymore, so I can say this name. I used to work for a company called Winn-Dixie. I was pharmacy manager, pharmacist in charge, several things within the Winn-Dixie organization. Since I've left, Winn-Dixie has undergone several name changes. They've been BI-LO. They're now Southeastern Grocers. So you may have an employee who has not, well, a prospective candidate who has not worked for a particular company in a while. So the company name they give you or the company name that's listed on their resume may be different. Maybe it's changed. Maybe there's been some mergers and acquisitions. So in this instance, this is your opportunity to correct any information that your candidate has given you. Lastly, you want to know what is that person's relationship to the candidate. So are you speaking to a former manager? Are you speaking to a former coworker? Are you speaking to a friend? Whatever the capacity, how does this person that you're talking to, how do they know the candidate? So this is just basic information gathering for the purpose of a reference check. Now, you're gonna next get what you need. You're gonna get the actual reference details. So you're just gonna go launch into a conversation and you're gonna make notes of that conversation. So what were so-and-so's main responsibilities while working with you? How would you describe Jane Doe's work ethic? What would you say was his or her attitude and personality? How do they respond to criticism and challenges? How did they get along with other members of the team? What sorts of jobs would you say are most suited for this person? What advice or concerns would you have for his or her next manager? Would you rehire this person? These are some questions that you can ask. You can add in more questions. You can not ask a question if you don't feel that person would be receptive to answering it. You can flip around the wording, whatever you want to do. Then you can add additional comments. If there's something else that you come up with that you want to add, go ahead and add it in. The point is you're going to get these reference details and you want to make it more conversational. So ask the question, talk about it, give them time to talk. Let them talk as long as they want to talk, okay? Because as you are having this conversation with them, you're gathering these details, you are building rapport. You want them to get comfortable in this conversation for what we're about to do next. Here we go. Once you gather the information, if you feel like the person is receptive to continue talking, you're gonna go in for the kill. Your objective here is to obtain prospective client information. So I just told you that the person that I did this reference check for, she's hopefully going to be getting hired with one of my PBM clients, but she used to work for another PBM that I want as a client. So I called over to her former lead on her previous team over at that company that I want to get her reference information. So now I'm talking to this person. This person I know for a fact has the ability to hire and fire. This person that I was talking to, I was able to glean that they are a key decision maker. They make hiring decisions. So I want to talk to this person. And even if the person you talk to is not a key decision maker, you're going to go in for the kill and find out who is. So let's go through these questions. Again, you want to familiarize yourself with these questions so that this is more of a conversation. But for the sake of this training, I'm going to read them one by one. But remember, you don't want to be reading to this prospective client. You want to familiarize yourself with this and have a conversation. So once you get the reference information, you start in like this. So, hey, I know that you were the manager for so-and-so. Do you typically handle the hiring for temporary workers in the facility? Give them a chance to respond. Let them talk as long as they want. Number two, so under what circumstances does your organization reach out to staffing agencies for help and support? Again, give them the opportunity to respond. Number three, is there any other contact person within the company that takes care of the staffing and the hiring? Just in case this person is not the right person, you're going to find out who is. If they are the person, oh, honey, they're going to be glad to tell you, oh, that's me. Great. Number four, what sort of positions would you typically need support for? Would it be positions like what so-and-so was working? You know, are there other positions that you're having difficulty filling? Having a conversation, giving them a chance to respond. Number five, after you have listened to number four, their answer to number four, you're going to pitch your niche specific service. And let me give you a hint. If it ain't your niche, I say if it ain't your niche, you're finna make it your niche right now. So let's just say they have trouble filling customer service, CSR positions for the front end and triage in their call center. So you're gonna say, oh, well, that's great, because filling those types of positions are what my company is based on. That's our bread and butter. And we only work with companies in the PBM industry. So in fact, I'm working with 2 other candidates right now with experience in the CSR positions. Would you want to consider them? Can I send you their resumes? Boom, give the person a chance to respond to that. If they are the true decision maker and they are in need of people, they will want those resumes. If they're not the right person and they know who is, they'll say, sure, send it over to me and I'll give it to this other person. Or, hey, let me give you this other person's contact information that handles that. Yeah, that should be fine. Are you following? So number 6, this is gonna continue to be you talking. You might not have an account manager in your agency just yet. Make one up. All right. So for number 6, you're going to say, so if we have our account manager send you additional information, what's the best email for me to do that? Or you can say something like, so we typically don't set up interviews with our candidates until we have gotten a lay of the land, an agreement in place, and like an understanding of what your concerns and pain points are as a company. So I'll be in that area next Tuesday. Is it okay if I stop by for a minute or two around 2 p.m. and just meet with you and just talk about possibilities for us working together? You guys can twist and turn and formulate this information however you desire to, but you get the point. Number 7, you may or may not need to ask this question depending on what the answer to number 6 is. So you can say something like, would it be worthwhile for me to set up a meeting with you or one of our account managers? Okay, listen, let them respond, let them talk as long as they want to talk. If you think of any questions related to going in for the kill, throw them in. And when it's all done, you thank them. Hey, thank you so much for your time and you have a great rest of the day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can turn a reference check on your candidates into a client prospecting endeavor. And here, I'm going to click on that. This is going to take you to the actual document that I created. For you to utilize this, you can literally print some of these out, make copies of this, and write directly on this, share this with your team. This is on the Google Drive for the Staffing Agency Startup. So those of you who have agency startup access on the Google Drive, this is already in there. Those of you who do not have that, you may want to think about investing and getting access to the full drive. This is one of the many documents that's contained there. But I'm giving this one away as a freebie because I just could not contain myself with how cool this particular thing was for me today. So again, this is Sean from Care Dynamics. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. info@caredynamicsfl.com. I hope this was beneficial to you. And if there's nothing else, good night.